All right. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the topic of budgeting. Everyone loves this topic. All right. So what have I put here? So I said there's budgeting apps that help you keep track of your cash inflow and outflow, and those include Personal Capital and Truebill. Uh, I think Personal Capital, yeah, it tracks net worth or something, and Truebill it tracks expenses, if I remember. You can look into it. There's also the topic of automating your finances from the YouTube channel Tay Kim Financial Tortoise. So this means like regular set up an automation that automatically pulls money from your bank account and deposit it into like a Vanguard brokerage account, for example. This says ask if gratuity is included when eating out. Okay, so at some restaurants these days, they add on tips automatically and they add on gratuity automatically if you have six people or more, or something like that, right? So when you get the bill, it's important to ask I've actually seen my boss's boss do this when we went out to eat during company social event. And what he did was he asked the server if there was any gratuity included, and they said there was no gratuity included. But sometimes they do include gratuity, and so in that case, you might not want to tip them anymore because gratuity is a tip, anyways. You don't want to tip a tip on top of a tip if you're cheap. Just kidding. Okay, then there's this one about grocery store charge 5 pounds of ginger as if it were 1 pound of ginger. So the lesson is do not buy food in small amounts. So this happened at a grocery store one time where the person they only bought like half a pound of ginger, but the increments of ginger for the cashier is always recorded in pounds, right? 1 pound or more. So if you bought less than a pound, you're pretty much were getting charged 1 pound's cost. Kind of not a good deal. Um, let's talk about budgeting strategies now, okay? So I was watching this this finfluencer, and he was talking about the 52-week budget, one budget a week. I think his name was let me say, Jerry Feta, but I think there might be more finfluencers as well. And then I've also heard of this bi-weekly budget, which is that you budget two times uh, a month. And this is very common. You can see on YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers that talk about it. Um, I think there's different advantages to these systems, right? Like 52 week is like more fine grain and but it's kind of a lot. And then bi-weekly, right? Twice a month is good if because it matches your paycheck. A lot of people get paycheck on the first of the month and the middle of the month or something like that, for example. There's this online budget, I spelled it wrong, which is Every Dollar, Dave Ramsey's app. So that's great if you like the simple interface, but being online means you need to be connected to internet in order to track your expenses, which I don't know. Sometimes the internet doesn't work. There's another app, I like to use it. It's called the Expenses app. It's an iOS app for iPhone, and it's available offline and online. Like what it does is it syncs through iCloud, and then if there's no internet, it will you can record your transactions locally, and once it your phone gets internet access again, it will start syncing to iCloud. So it keeps your Apple devices all synced up, and you just need to open up the Expenses app, and it's available on different Apple products, which is pretty cool. Then there's the envelope system, which involves planning ahead. So you actually have different paper folders, and you take physical cash, like I'm talking about Federal Reserve notes, and you just stuff them into different envelopes. So you have one envelope called maybe grocery, and another envelope called like um, eating out with friends or something, and just one envelope for each thing, and then you just stick money in, and um, that's your allocated budget for that month. And if you use up all the money, then too bad. There's another system called the observation system. So this is just basically not budgeting. You just keep track of your expenses, and you can look back on how much you spent each month to look back on analytics. Um, there's another topic is that this is about savings, right? So among the money that you have remaining after taxes, 401k, HSA, taken out, etc. Uh, this is one strategy is you keep 10% and then you save 90%. This is kind of insane. I don't think a lot of people can do it actually. Um, I've known people that can do this if they make enough money or if they live with their parents for free. Then they might be able to do something like this, uh, where they after the basically the remaining money they have, they're able to save 90%. But that's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, another thing I remember learning from this guy Jerry Feta uh, was that the wealthy save 40% of their money. Uh, they save 40% of their gross money. That's a lot, right? Most people will start to save money using their net pay, like after taxes and after, expenses or after 401k and whatever. But to save 40% of your gross earnings is kind of a crazy high amount. But hey, if you can do it, that's cool, but very hard. But yeah, there's this other thing too, which is that there was a girl from my elementary school that palm read my left hand, and she said that I would live 88 years old. So I was thinking to plan accordingly. Okay, let's scroll down. These are financial management topics, and they come from ChatGPT. And basically, these ones were listed out. And I said same as planning. So I'm saying the topic of budgeting is the same as planning. And budgeting sounds limiting. I remember some YouTuber was talking about how they don't like the word budgeting because it sounds very limiting, very restrictive. They like the word planning or something, forecasting or something instead. It's kind of like people don't like the word dating. They like the word courtship instead. Or they like the word let's go out and get a meal instead of let's go on a date. All right, cool. Let's take a look at money does a job. All right, so this topic is about how money is just a utility. I mean, you just use it for stuff. It doesn't really do anything other than, you use it. You kind of apply the emotions onto the money, but it's just a tool. And then this is about cash does the job of peace of mind. So a lot of times, let's say you have some cash, like physical cash, or it can be like in a savings account or something like that, and you're thinking, oh man, this cash is losing to inflation. Um, and yeah, it is losing to inflation, but it's solving the job of peace of mind. And actually, I first learned about this from the YouTube channel Azul, I think. He's like some kind of financial advisor or something. Yeah. So there's some other ideas as well, which is using free resources, right? Because budgeting is about saving money. At least a lot of people might think that. So I had some ideas here, like you go to the library, public library for books. There's different sections in the library that talk about finance, economics, business, paper, money, art, demographics. At least these are topics that I like, but maybe you like different topics. There's free food at some college events. Um, at my local library, there's free seeds that you can take home and plant in your garden. There's college resources while at college, like maybe some career fair or career advising type stuff, how to design a resume. And then there's meetup events on meetup.com. Many are free, and the only thing you pay really is your time and um, the gas that you spend to drive there. Assuming you're in the US and you live in a spread out suburban sprawl. Um, and at not at one of the metropolitan cities like I don't know, like a New York or a Chicago. And lastly, there's Pantry Food Bank, which is that uh if you want free food, you can go to the pantry. I think a lot of colleges and stuff they hand out food to students, and students will go get it, and they can say they're low income or pretend to be low income or something like that. So this is the topic of budgeting, very popular topic. A lot of people like it. I hope you like it, and if you like this topic and you're interested, just follow my channel, and I'll see you next time.